In this video, I am going to find the principal square root for these numbers, for these radical expressions. Let's start off with the first example, square root of 169. So let me just make sure that we understand the definition of square root. When I'm saying square root of 169, I'm looking for such a number when I multiply the number with itself, it will give me 169. So once again, square root of 169 will be such a number when I multiply the number with itself, it will give me 169. So we can easily see that it's 13. Okay, because 13 times 13 is 169. However, is this the only number? As it turns out that this is not the only number. There is also another number which when multiplied with itself, it would give you 169, which is negative 13. Why? Negative 13 times negative 13. Negative and negative is going to make it positive. So it's going to be a positive number. Then 13 times 13 is 169. And that's why we write square root of a number, square root of 169 in our particular example is going to be plus or minus 13. That's where the plus or minus comes from. Okay, and you can see with a simple example. Let me put a side example, square root of 4, which is very easy to see, is going to be 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, but again, negative 2 times negative 2 is also 4. So it's going to be plus or minus 2. Now, principal square root is the positive value. So in our case, we have plus or minus 13. It's not the negative value. We are going to consider the positive value. So square root of 169 is going to have 13 as principal square root, positive 13. Now we can do the same thing for the other two, square root of 0.0169. What is a number when we multiply with itself? It gives you 0.0169. As it turns out, that is going to be plus or minus 0.13. Please note, 0.13 times 0.13 is equal to, so let's for the moment ignore the decimals, because sometimes students have difficulties multiplying, dividing decimals. So for the moment, let's argue that there is no decimal. We are just going to multiply 13 and 13. As we know from the last example, that 13 times 13 is what? 169. So it's going to be 169. However, there is actually decimals here. So in the first number, I have 2 digits after the decimal. So this one and this one. In the second number, I have 2 digits after the decimal. So a total of 4 digits. So I need to move the decimal 4 digits to the left. 169 is the same as 169.0. So let me do it here. 169.0. I need to move this decimal once, twice, 3, 4. Since there is nothing here, I have to put a 0 here. And then the decimal is going to get moved from here to here. So this is going to be 0.0169. So this is my square root. However, we are looking for the positive or principal square root. So it's going to be 0.0169 is equal to 0.13. Now the last example is this one, square root of 0.81 over 0.0121. Again, square root is on the whole thing, both on 0.81 and 0.0121. 0.81, what will be such a number? Let me just show it to you right here. 0.89 will be such a number when I multiply the number with itself, it would give me, 0.81 would be square root of that number would be such a number. When I multiply the number with itself, it would give me 8.81. As it turns out, it's 0.9, because 0.9 times 0.9 is 9 times 9 is 81, and after the decimal, we have one digit, so we need to move the decimal twice. Similarly, 0.0121 will be 11. 0.11. Why? 0.11 times 0.11 is equal to 121. We need to move the decimal 4 digits, 1, 2, because 2 digits after the decimal, 1, 2, 4, 2 digits, total of 4, so it's going to be 0.0121. So this becomes 0.9 over 0.11. Okay, so that's what it is. Also, one more simplification you can do if you'd like. This is the principal square root. We are not considering the negative value, just the positive value. One more simplification you can make if you'd like is going to be 0.9 over 0.11 is the same as 0.90 over 11. Now you have 2 digits after the decimal in the numerator, you have 2 digits after the decimal in the denominator. You can assume that, or you can take up the decimal. You can write the number as 90 over 11 as if there is no decimals. Okay, so that's a simplified form. Then you could express it in terms of fractions and whatnot if you want, but this is good enough for me. Okay, if you can simplify to this is great. I hope that this discussion was helpful. Thank you very much.